Having obese kids should literally be a crime. Your heart is gonna explode. How are you gonna be walking around with a bigger belly than your girlfriend and she's pregnant? Welcome to Season 2 of the Results Over Everything podcast. I'm your host, RickyResults, author of The Winning Fitness Mindset and the best-selling book, Fraudulent Free Fitness. Now, today's episode, we're going to be going over chapter 3 of my book. We're going to be talking about motivation, mindset, and I'm going to be introducing you to the Fitness Genie. And by the way, if you haven't read the book, Fraudulent Free Fitness, you could buy on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Audible, Kindle. But because you're someone that's watching my channel, you're a viewer, I'm going to give you a free copy. Simply click the link below on the description or go to book.RickyResults.com. The purpose of why I even publish a book, because with social media, specifically TikTok and Instagram, there's so many people who are trying to be influencers that really should not be even opening their mouth talking about fitness. Why? Because they're not certified trainers. They've never actually helped anyone else get in shape. And a lot of the things they promote is simply just to try to make a quick buck out of you. Now, me, I've been training clients for a little bit over 6 years now. I'm the master trainer at the South Loop LA Fitness. And I've been an author of 2 books. My newest one, which became a best-selling book. I've had over 5 people lose over 100 pounds. And I've had many different people lose 10, 20, 30 pounds. So in other words, I'm someone you should actually listen to. Because one, I have the certifications, I have the knowledge. But more importantly, I have the actual real life experience. Now, with that said, let's actually get into the good stuff. Every day, especially coming up, we're in December right now. January 2025, thousands of people around the world and in the US are gonna join the gym. Now, the sad thing is, most of them by the end of February, if that, probably most of the time even sooner, they're gonna be gone. They're gonna give up on their goals. And the thing is, this happens year and year and year after year. Now, why is there so many people that join the gym only to quit 6-8 weeks later? The first step is asking the right questions. The question I like to ask all of my clients when we're setting goals is this. I want you to imagine there's a genie. Now, he can't make you rich or famous. This is the Fitness Genie. He'll grant you 3 wishes. It doesn't matter if it's more physical, whether there's a certain physique you want to aim for, a certain muscle you want to make bigger, a certain area you want to make smaller. It doesn't matter if it's performance-wise, whether there's something you want to be able to do. Or it doesn't even have to be physical or performance. It could be there's a dress you don't fit into no more that you want to be able to fit into again. There's a holiday, a wedding coming up, and you want to look really good in the suit. Like, what are the 3 things that if you achieve will make the biggest difference in your life? What are the 3 things that if you actually accomplish will make you the most proud, that will make you the happiest? And take the time to actually think about it and write it down. Because once you write it down, it's not in your brain no more. Now you actually literally touch it. Now look at those 3 goals every day, every single day. And the thing is, as you start training, as you start making progress, as you get stronger, your goals will develop with you. In 3 months from now, you're going to be so much more capable of what you're doing now that you're going to be able to think bigger. Well, I already hit this goal, I hit that, I'm able to do this. I wonder what I could do if I keep this up in 3 more months. As you become stronger, what you used to think was impossible, now it doesn't seem so out of reach. So that's the first step. Ask yourself those questions, like what are the 3 things that if you actually accomplish will make you the happiest, the most proud, and write them down. Alright, now that you're a lot more clear your goals, you wrote down the main 3 things that you want to achieve. And again, it doesn't have to be 3, it could be 10. But if you write down 10, circle the 3 that are the most important. Now, one of the biggest reasons people are not actually able to keep up with their training is lack of planning. You know the saying, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. And that's so true, because if you leave things up to the last minute, your option is always going to be the easiest option. you're always going to pick the one with the least resistance. For example, if you're someone that goes to work and you're busy at work and you didn't bring your meal prep, well, guess what? Where are you going to go? You have to eat, right? Well, you're going to eat at whatever place is near you. A lot of times, that's McDonald's, Potbelly, and obviously those are not the best macronutrients. So instead of getting you closer to your goal, you're self-sabotaging because you didn't plan ahead. Now, I'm not saying you can't eat out and still get in shape. I've done it many times. Many of my clients have done it. But that's another conversation we'll have in the next chapters on what to actually eat. Because as long as you eat within your macros, you should be good. But a lot of times you don't even know what that should look like. And the meals you pick are not macronutrient friendly. They're either high in carbs or high in fats. Now, an easy way to set yourself up for success is to actually write down your schedule in a week. Write down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. What time you normally wake up, what time you gotta be at work, what time is your break, what time you get out of work. If you have kids, what time you drop them off, what time you pick them up. If you have other responsibilities, literally take a look at your weekly schedule, what that looks like. And then guess what? You're gonna see the gaps. You're gonna see where you actually have time to work out. Or you could see how you could rearrange things to make time to work out. Once you see your full schedule, now do your best to pick at least 4 days to work out. I always say you want to win the week. There's 7 days in the week. If you're working out 4 days out of the week, you're consistently training. You're training more often than you're not training. So that's going to start to build momentum. That's going to start to pick up some wins. Now you're actually building consistency. And that's so important. The reason people don't continue with training is because once they don't see results, they get easily discouraged. But if you started building consistency, you start building momentum, guess what? You're stacking up wins. You're stacking up wins. When you keep stacking up wins, your subconscious thinks of you as a winner. You're going to think of yourself as a winner. Now, many times people are not motivated. Sometimes are shy. Sometimes even afraid to go to the gym. Why? Because the last 2, 3, 5, 10 years, they've been stuck in losses. They've been getting fatter every month. They've been getting bigger every year. And not big as in size and muscle, but belly fat, stomach fat, love handles. You know, it's kind of embarrassing. I mean, I'm not going to call out none of my friends, but many people I see on social media, they're posting their girlfriend is pregnant, but they have a bigger belly. Like, come on, man. It's like, how are you going to be walking around with a bigger belly than your girlfriend and she's pregnant? She's 6 months pregnant. How do you have a bigger belly than her? You know, like, that should be unacceptable. And if you're in that same scenario I just told you, maybe this is your wake-up call. Because somebody has to tell you. And it might sound harsh, but here's the thing. If nobody tells you it, one day your heart is going to explode. Your heart is going to explode inside your chest. And that didn't have to be the case. So again, not calling anyone specifically out, but as a society, we need to do better. And especially with little kids. If you're a parent, you're obese. You're obese because you don't have the right habits. Guess what your kids are seeing? It's like, having obese kids should literally be a crime. If you're a parent and your kid is 20, 30, 50 pounds overweight, you should be locked up. You're literally harming them. They're going to get bullied in school. They're going to not have the highest self-esteem. Then, they're going to end up harming themselves. You're harming them, and then they're harming themselves because they don't like themselves. But getting back on track. Because that's one book I will publish in the future. How to fix teen obesity. But that's once I have kids. So I can actually prove I raise healthy kids. Imagine as a trainer I raise fat kids. Oh my god. But here's the thing. Once you start to build the consistency, once you start to build the discipline, and again, start with something simple. That's another mistake people make. They go so hard the first week or two. They're sore for 3-4 days. Obviously it hurts. They don't want to experience that again. I would say consistency before intensity. Start building consistency within yourself. Start showing up, even if it's just 15-20 minutes, cardio or the routine, a warm-up routine, a mobility routine. Commit to something you know you can do. Don't commit to something that because you're motivated today, you feel like you're unstoppable and then you overcommit. No, commit to something you can do three workouts a week. That's more than realistic. 4 is even better. But minimum, the bare minimum is 3 workouts a week. More like 4 to build that consistency. Now, another thing is you need role models. You need somebody to hold you accountable. And you need someone that has been there, has been in your situation. Because if you think about it, I don't know what you do for a living, whether you're a janitor or work for NASA. Even the most simple job, somebody had to show you how to do it. Here's the closet, here's your bucket, here's the detergent, mix it, go clean, make sure it looks like this. That was some sort of training. But guess what? Whatever you do today for a living, somebody had to train you to do it. So why are you going into a new field of training, literally working out? If you want to build strength, there's a certain way to train for that. If you want to lose body fat, there's a certain way to train for that. If you want to improve your endurance and mobility, there's a certain way to train for that. Why are you just going to the treadmill? See what I mean? It literally doesn't make sense. If you want a starting result, you need to do the things that those people who have those results do. So you need to start hanging out with winners. When I was 16, I was working out at a gym. I didn't have money for a trainer. But I had time. I had time to see. Literally, I used to pretend I was warming up, and I was warming up, but for half an hour just to see what the guys that were the most buff were doing. I used to see them doing shoulder press with the barbell bench press. They were doing cable chest flies. They were doing leg extensions. They were doing barbell squats. They were doing walking lunges. And I would see how they would do it. After they left, I would try to replicate the movements, you know. You gotta do what you gotta do. And back in the day, I'm 26 right now. This is going back 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, because I started working out at 14. Back in the day, there wasn't Instagram, TikTok at the level it is now. You have so many more resources now. You have books that you could literally get for free. A book.RickyResults.com that will literally tell you and teach you how to structure your workouts. Now, there's literally no excuse. The only excuse is you don't really want it as bad as you say you want it. And a lot of times, that's a conversation you need to have with yourself. Because here's the thing. You don't have to get in shape if you don't really want to. As long as you're okay with the consequences and the results that come with being out of shape, you do you. You know? But if you have other people counting on you, other people that believe in you, other people that if your health takes a toll, they'll be affected in a bad way, you kind of owe it to them and you owe it to yourself. Why not find out what are you really capable of? Why not really go for it? Why not really commit for at least 3 to 6 months and actually try your best? Genuinely try your best. Genuinely do your best to eat better. Genuinely do your best to get better sleep, drink more water, develop a workout plan. Start reading, developing your mindset. Why not actually try that? Because think about it. In 6 months from now, the time is going to pass. You could either be where you are, most likely worse if you don't do any action, because the habits you're building up right now, they're going to continue for 6 more months. If they're not positive habits, if you're not improving, best case scenario, you stay where you're at. But more realistically, you're going to keep getting worse. So sometimes you need somebody to tell you this. Sometimes you need to put things in perspective. And having the right mentor to tell you these things in a nice way, where it's from a caring angle, is important. Because obviously you don't want somebody to tell you all kinds of bad things to shame you. No, you should do this because you want to do this. You should do this because you want to see how strong you can be. Not because you hate yourself. Working out, eating healthy, getting good sleep, saying no to alcohol and drugs is one of the best ways to show yourself that you love yourself. Because you're literally giving away things that will give you instant pleasure for things in the long term that will give you full fulfillment. Yeah, you need to confront yourself. You need to ask yourself if you're really living up to your potential. You need to ask yourself, are you really giving it your best? You need to ask yourself, what are the habits you know you should not keep up? And here's the thing, I don't even need to tell you what are the things you need to stop eating. You already know. You know you should not be eating McDonald's twice a week. You should not be eating all that sugar with your coffee. You should not be having pancakes every other time you have breakfast. You should not be having a beer after work every single day. You know those are things you shouldn't be doing. You still do it. Why? Because they give you pressure. A man, a person, a woman, a kid, somebody without purpose will waste their time with things that give them pressure. Instant satisfaction. Instant dopamine hits. And that's why it's addictive. You don't feel good about yourself because you don't have a purpose. So you distract yourself with things that will give you pressure. And a lot of time, those are not things that will help you in the long term. The biggest pressure, the biggest form of satisfaction I ever experienced was when I worked for weeks, for months, for years to achieve something. I finally achieved it. There's literally nothing like that. You will literally have a high for like 2 weeks when something like that happens. A couple months ago, when I hosted my book signing event for my book, I invited many of my clients. I invited people that read, bought a copy of my book. I invited my family and many close friends, many of my clients. I hosted a big event, all you could eat, all you could drink. And I paid for all of it. I took care of it. They had nothing to worry about. That was years in the making. 10 years ago, I had no purpose. The last 6 years, I've been working on fulfilling my purpose now. And the fact that I was able to do that for my clients, have such a great time, that literally gave me a high for like a month. Even now, like anytime I'm feeling down, I used to think about that day so I could continue pushing forward. You know, so the biggest satisfaction, the biggest fulfillment you're ever going to experience is once you actually put in the work to achieve something that you once thought was almost impossible or impossible. So stop giving yourself cheap dopamine hits. Stop giving yourself instant gratification. Actually start prioritizing your long-term goals. Adding on to that, another great question to ask yourself is, how would the person you want to be act on the daily basis? The person you imagine yourself being in a year from now, how would that person act? What are the things that person will be doing on a daily basis? The version of you that is 20 pounds leaner, 20 pounds of fat leaner, 10 pounds of muscle stronger, what would that person be doing on a day-to-day basis? How would that person have breakfast? How would that person see themselves? How would that person act around others? Who are the friends that person will have? You see, and just for me asking those questions, your mind starts thinking of possibilities. Your mind starts to actually answer those questions. What you need to start doing is, every morning when you wake up, here's what I do. I wake up, I turn on my alarm, and then I lay down in bed for another 2 to 3 minutes. I just close my eyes and literally just picture how my day will go and picture the things I want more. I'm literally picturing how my day is going to go. I'm literally picturing how my life is going to look like in the next year, 5 years. When I'm laying down in bed, I'm thinking the green Bentley I want. I'm thinking about the next 3-5 books I'm going to publish. I'm thinking about the Rolex that's coming. I'm thinking about once I'm doing speaking gigs. I'm thinking about all these things. And when you think about those things, you start to manifest it. Because what do most people do? They wake up, they grab their phone, TikTok, a girl shaking her ass, another guy doing some silly workout. You're literally consuming from the moment you wake up. They're not things that help you. Right after I get out of bed, once I'm done with my meditating, once I'm done with my meditation, once I'm done with my imagining, and once I'm done with my visualization of my life, now I simply play some music, good motivational music, just to get me in a good pace, get my energies up. From the moment I wake up, I already stacked the win. I visualize my day. I start with good music. I go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, have a full glass of water, turn on my coffee so I can have some coffee. I'm already in such a good mood. Now the decisions I'm making next are most likely going to be better decisions than if I woke up grumpy, I woke up just starting consuming things on social media. That's called state control. If you're able to control how you feel, then the decisions you make, you're going to have a lot more control over as well. One more thing to add to that is, yes, you want to surround yourself with winners. You want to also start controlling your mindset, how you feel from the day-to-day basis, the hour-to-hour basis. But also you want to control your environment. For example, you probably already have friends that invite you out every weekend. You need to let them know you're now on a fitness goal. You can't go out as often. You want to save it for special occasions. You know, there's sacrifices you need to make to achieve your goals. And if you don't make them, guess what? Your goals are the sacrifice. If you don't sacrifice for your goals literally become the sacrifice. Because if you don't make those sacrifices, you won't get the results that you want. So literally, your goals become the sacrifice. Now, adding on to the social media part, instead of just consuming, you could start creating. You could start documenting your fitness journey. Post a selfie that's your first day at the gym, and you'll see the people encourage you in the comments. If you don't have many friends that are into working out, you could follow me on Instagram at RickyResults. Message me that you started working out. Guess what? I'm going to be super supportive. I'm going to send you probably a bunch of other free resources just because I want to help you. You know, you could have an accountability partner. You could have somebody that if we're both starting out your fitness journey, you check in on each other. Keep each other accountable. Hey, did you work out today? If you check in on them, they check in on you. But the biggest thing is you need to take control and you need to take responsibility that this is your job and your responsibility. Because many times people like to bring outside circumstances. Oh, I'm big bone. Like what does that even mean? You're big bone. How big can your bones be that you're so big? You know, they can only be so big. And another thing is you need to realize that you're not always going to be motivated. One question I always ask my clients is this: when is the most important time to work out? Like, think about it. When is the most important time to work out? A lot of people say in the morning. Some people say, oh, after I ate or before I eat. The best and most important time to work out is when you don't feel like it. When you don't feel like working out, that's when you should work out. Why? Because if you show up to the gym, even though you didn't want to, even though you were tired, even though you just got done with an 8-hour shift, even though you didn't get that much sleep, but you still show up at the gym to work out because you knew you're supposed to work out today, guess what you're telling yourself? Guess what you're telling your subconscious? My goals are important. And that's how you start to build that discipline. That's how you start to build that consistency. Next time when you're only half as tired, well, guess what? That decision will be so much easier to make. I'm going to show up anyways. I'm going to give you a trick. And once I tell you the trick and why it works, I want you to forget why it works. The days you don't feel like working out, tell yourself, okay, I don't feel like working out. I'm going to go to the gym and I'm only going to do my warm-up. If by the time I'm done with my warm-up, I still don't feel like working out, then I don't have to work out. I'll simply go home. Now, here's why it works. And it works even better if you do the warm-up that's on my YouTube channel, at RickyResults. If you go to RickyResults, my YouTube channel, you'll see the playlist that says Exercise Library that has the warm-up all of my clients do before workouts. Now, if you do the warm-up, you didn't feel like working out, you told yourself, okay, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm only going to do the warm-up. If I still don't feel like working out after the warm-up, cool, I'll go home. By the time you're done with the warm-up, your body is so much more loose. There's so much more blood flow running through your body. There's more blood gained to your brain. There's more oxygen gained to your brain. Now you're awake. Now you're alert. Now you're in a better state of mood than when you first came in. So guess what? Now you're motivated. Now you feel like working out. When you're in a shitty mood, you make shitty decisions. Once you're in a better mood, you make better decisions. So make yourself be in a better mood. Now forget why it works. Next time you don't feel like working out, just go to the gym, do the warm-up. Alright. Ending on that note, you should have a lot more specific idea of what kind of goals you want to accomplish. We talk about a few different examples on how to start building consistency, what kind of things to keep in mind to keep the right mindset, and that you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself. And again, if you don't feel like working out, you actually don't want to work out, you don't have to work out. As long as you're okay with the consequences that come with being out of shape. If you found value from this episode, if you like what I said, if you found this motivational, if you learned something new, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel because we have a lot more content on the way. I'm going to be sharing with you special resources only for the viewers. I'm going to be dropping knowledge and golden nuggets every episode. If you have any questions, if you want to share with me your fitness journey, you can also message me at Instagram at RickyResults. I'm RickyResults. It's been great talking to you. Keep up, stay consistent, and let's get you some results.